Do you folks remember that story about the 10-year-old girl in Ohio who was a victim of assault and was denied an abortion? Well, yeah, Republicans started calling the story fake. For example, Republican Jim Jordan said, "another lie," and it was even retweeted by the House Judiciary Republicans. Except, of course, it wasn't a lie, because the man who assaulted her has been arrested and charged. I think all of us wanted this story to not be true because of how heartbreaking it is, but it is true. It did happen, and because of Republicans and their policies, this girl was denied an abortion. Remember how Donald Trump said that he was going to get Mexico to pay for the border wall and to pay to protect the border? Well, funnily enough, Biden actually got them to do that. Mexico has agreed to invest $1.5 billion in smart border technology after a meeting with President Biden. Now, of course, President Biden and Mexico will be working on far better solutions than building a wall that won't work. But I just find it so funny how Trump said he was going to get Mexico to pay for border security, and Biden was the one who actually got it done. So the beef between Donald Trump and Elon Musk continues. On Truth Social, Donald Trump said that when Elon Musk came to the White House, he was begging him for his help, and without Trump's help, he'd be nothing. And according to Trump, so take it with a grain of salt, Elon Musk said that he was a big fan and a Republican, and Trump finished by saying, "I could have said to Elon, drop to your knees and beg, and he would have done it." I mean, he is really not holding back. And Elon Musk responded on Twitter by saying LMAO and a GIF. It's really fun watching two of the most admired people on the right beef with each other, and it seems to be escalating. Do you folks remember this photo from around the 2020 election where a Trump supporter claimed that Biden supporters vandalized his property, writing Biden 2020, BLM, Antifa on it? Well, we have quite an update to the story. It was all fake. Federal authorities say that the whole thing was staged by the pro-Trump property owner as part of an insurance fraud scheme. And now the guy behind it is being charged with multiple counts of wire fraud. I honestly can't say I'm surprised. This guy's story always seemed off from the beginning. Lawyers for Donald Trump believe that Mark Meadows, one of Donald Trump's closest allies, will be criminally charged. Trump's inner circle increasingly views Meadows as a likely fall guy for the former president's attempts to overturn the 2020 election. Members of Trump's legal team are actively planning certain strategies around Meadows' downfall. So basically, they want to use Meadows as a shield for Donald Trump. And we just learned that the January 6th committee has been quietly looking into Mark Meadows' financial dealings, which is really, really bad news for Mark Meadows. Even Trump's lawyers recognize that Trump and the people around him are in deep legal trouble, and it's becoming increasingly likely that these people will face criminal charges. They think they can use Mark Meadows as the fall guy, but that's not how this stuff works. If there is strong enough evidence against Donald Trump, he will be indicted. So inflation numbers came out, and Republicans are using this as an opportunity to attack Joe Biden for no reason. In June, inflation was 9.1%, and this guy even said Joe Biden is the worst president in over 100 years. Well, to all Republicans who think that this is a valid point, we also have inflation numbers for other countries. The EU is at 8.8%, the UK at 9.1%, Belgium at 9.65%, and Spain at 10.2%. So is Biden president of those countries too? No, of course not. It's just that the entire world is experiencing inflation. It's not Biden's fault, it's not the Democrats' fault. It's due to many other factors such as global conflict, supply chain issues, the pandemic, and more. It is so much more complex than Republicans are making it seem. This is one of the worst Republican attacks on Joe Biden. So Biden just landed in Israel today to visit a bunch of different countries, and when he got off the plane, he greeted everybody there. And after greeting everybody, Biden asked one of the officials, "What am I doing now?" And Republicans are posting this video trying to paint Biden as clueless and that his brain is gone, yada yada. But once you watch the video, it's so easy to see through the Republican Party and their lies. Take a look at it. I mean, it's just ridiculous. It is so clear that they're holding a ceremony there, which is pretty typical when a country welcomes an American president. And of course, after greeting them, Biden is asking them, okay, what's the next part of the ceremony? I mean, what? Would the Republican Party prefer that Biden just ignore the ceremony, be rude, and do his own thing? I mean, these attacks are just so disingenuous. So let's talk about this Jill Biden and breakfast tacos story that Republicans are freaking out about right now. First and foremost, her comments were clearly not intended to be hurtful. When she said it, she was literally speaking at Unidos US and was complimenting one of the organization's former leaders. Here's the full quote of what she said, and as you can see, it is nowhere near as bad as Republicans are making it seem. And of course, Jill Biden did not write this speech. Someone else wrote it, it was signed off, and she just gave the speech. And of course, she has apologized. It's not a good quote, it shouldn't have been in the speech, but there's more to the story. Democrats are still beating Republicans in the upcoming 2022 congressional races. A New York Times poll found that 41% of people wanted Democrats controlling Congress, and it found that 40% wanted Republican control and 19% were other. And this makes a lot of sense. The American people are starting to see through the lies of the Republican Party surrounding gas prices, inflation, and more. And everything coming out about January 6th and the Republican Party taking away reproductive rights from millions of women, the American people are fed up with them, and the data shows that.